All right, happy Sunday, ladies, and welcome to our Sunday night team call. I'm so glad that you girls are on here. This is one of my favorite topics. I absolutely love social media. I love finding different ways to utilize it, how I can grow my business with it, how I can connect with more people. Social media gets a really bad rap sometimes, but I've actually made a lot of good friends just through like Instagram and connecting with people on social media. I think that we have a very important role in how we can change the lives of others, and we have a really creative means of doing so. So I absolutely love just the creative aspect of social media, and I've done a lot of trial and error myself over the last year and a half. And I don't entirely remember where I was at as far as followers, which followers do not determine your level of success. They don't determine your worth. They don't determine any of that. But if I had to guess, I would say I've probably grown my Instagram following by 3,000 to 4,000 in the last year. And that's all organically and just by using these methods that I'm sharing with you guys today. So I'm going to share my screen. I have a presentation. I'm a very visual person. And so I will preface this by saying there's a lot that I would love to share on Instagram training, but that would be like a 5-hour long team call. And I respect your time. I'm going to try and do this as quickly as I can. But I will share the presentation with Sammy and Hallie so that way it can be relayed to all the teams as well, because I have links to some other trainings on specific things within this presentation so that we don't take forever. So without further ado, let me share my screen and pull up the presentation. Ta-da! Okay, so how to up your Instagram game and grow your business. So some basics. When it comes to your Instagram, I skipped over a slide. Sorry. Oh boy. There we go. Basics. First things first, you have to have a public profile. And there's a lot of reasons behind that. So if your profile is private, people can't find you. And people are more likely to creep on your profile when it's public, and they can see what you have to offer. Like, your social media is kind of like your storefront, and when it's private and people can't see that, it's less likely for someone to request to follow. And then it's just an extra step. We live in a world where we want instant everything, so for them to be able to see your feed cohesively right away is very important. The second thing is making sure it's a business profile, and the purpose behind that is that way you can see your insights and your analytics with your profile. You can see when your followers are online. You can see when they're engaging with your posts the most. You can see what days of the week they're on the most. You can see the percentage of your following is in a certain age group, where in the world they are. There's a lot that you can gather from having a business profile. So that's super important as well. It's also important to have a very clean and informative bio. So I grabbed a couple random ones from some that I really like, and you can see how it's just very kind of straightforward, to the point. It's not like, I'm a coach, come follow me. These are the different things about me. You can see each one of these people has their different hats, the different aspects of them. So that way when someone's reading the bio, they can see that, I can relate because Sammy's a 4th grade teacher, or Mandy is an entrepreneur. She's very business driven, things like that. So you can see, even Kenzie down here, always craving tacos, like health and fitness coach, always craving tacos, that kind of stuff. It's super important to have a very straightforward bio that's not super busy and crazy. So the first topic is quality content. A lot of people ask me, who takes your photos? And quite frankly, I take 90% of them myself with my iPhone, with exceptions of the bottom right one, and I'll get to that. So taking photos 101. First things first, please wipe your camera lens off with like your shirt or your sleeve or something, so that we can get a clear photo. Lighting is key. The top left photo, I'm obviously outdoors. This photo, I'm standing in front of my parents' front door. That's a glass front door, so that way I had the natural light shining in on me. I know we've all probably done that, where we stand in front of a window to get a good picture. And then this photo is, I'm using my ring light, which I'm using right now. And this one was professionally taken. So there's lots of different ways to get good lighting, but stand in front of a window, go outside. I know it's cold as crap in Minnesota, but get outside, get in front of that window and get some of that natural light. It's also very important to get clear and straightforward photos. And what I mean by that is to make sure that your photos aren't super, super busy. You can see that a lot of the photos that I use, there's like a focal point. I've seen like a friend of mine, this is not even someone who's a coach, but she posted a picture of herself at like this wine tasting, and it was just so busy because there's so many people around her. That's one reason why I really like the portrait mode, is because it really kind of blurs out the background. So really utilizing, the awesome free tools that we have with these newer iPhones. Don't be afraid to ask someone to take your photo. Oh, I skipped over one, sorry. Capture moments and emotions. So what I mean by that is, a lot of times people will say, like, I don't know what to post on social media. I don't have any pictures. And I kind of challenge you. I was telling Leah the other week, she walked downstairs in her basement to her dog, had torn up a dog bed, like into a million pieces. And I was like, that's a great photo op. You get a picture of you standing there, like puzzled or just like with whatever facial expression, with this dog bed exploded behind you, and you can easily use it as a metaphor as life is crumbling around you, or sometimes things just explode in life. But relating it to always taking the time to take care of yourself, or even when life is crazy around you, knowing that you have like your health to keep you grounded, or things like that. So you'll find that, today when I went to yoga, and this kind of leads me to the next one, I asked a random lady at yoga, hey, can you take a picture of me and my friend? Or the picture, you'll see it later, of me and my friend eating pizza. It was a random woman who just so happened to be sitting outside of Panera. And we asked her, hey, can you take a picture of us? And we like did different poses, and we're like eating pizza. So don't be afraid to ask people to take photos for you, even if it's your kids, your significant other. If you have a husband or boyfriend, make them an Instagram photographer for you. Like, that's should be part of, like, on their resume as a significant other. Instagram photographer. I'm kidding, but it's very helpful. If you are single like me, that is where tripods, where's mine? I don't know where it is. But, tripods, selfie ring lights, and timers come in handy. A lot of people ask me a lot, there's a picture of me sitting on my couch over there, and people are like, oh my gosh, you took that photo. And I was like, well, I set my phone on my kitchen counter, and I set a timer, and I ran and sat on the couch. And so that's how I can get some really good photos. And the last one is, I treated myself. When I had this photo shoot in Indianapolis, I treated myself. When I was in Las Vegas and had professional photos taken, that was a gift to me. But don't be afraid to treat yourself. Find a local photographer. I know some people where if a photographer is trying to get up on their feet, they're willing to take photos for free. So don't be afraid to reach out to people. Oh, and this link here is one of our team calls that we had on this exact topic. So filters and a clean feed. So presets are like the thing right now. This is the pizza photo I was talking about before. So this is just some of my before and afters of using the presets. And the reason why I really like it is, I used to waste so much time on editing photos. It was ridiculous. I used like 3 or 4 apps just to edit one photo, and it would take like 30 minutes. With this, I will say every once in a while, if I really like this one, I think what I did was I went into Facetune and just used the whitening tool to whiten up some of the brick. but I just throw it in this app called Lightroom, and I use the same filter for everything. So that way that's how your feed looks cohesive. It's got the same filter on every photo. Etsy has these presets for $5. So you can buy them off Etsy, and they give you the instructions on how to download them and how to use them. I'm not going to go into that because I couldn't tell you off the top of my head without looking it up. An app I use, this is called Planoly. And not only can I schedule posts to, go at 12:05 tomorrow afternoon, but it also allows me, these are the photos that were already on my feed at that time, and these ones are just uploaded, and I can kind of move them around to see how they fit within my feed. So that's a super helpful tool. And then definitely just having a cohesive theme, like having like your 5 hats. So the different things about you: I'm an OT. I have a faith-based background. I'm into fitness. I post about lifestyle, and I post about like being single. And so kind of sticking to those things so that way people kind of know what to expect from you. I could add like Florida living. I like to kind of rub that in because, yeah, I'm not going to go into that. But posting the different things about you. I will say I posted about my sunrise this morning, knowing that all you Minnesota people got snow. And I was like, but so that's the filters and having a clean and cohesive feed. Aesthetics are very powerful. So that's kind of what I got to say about that. So Instagram stories. This is like the thing that people love watching stories. I will say when I want to like kind of just do mindless things, I watch Instagram stories. Like when I get home from work, that's like my unwind thing. I catch up on Instagram stories. It's how people get to see behind the scenes. Yes, when you're on the toilet pooping, it's a great, perfect time to watch stories. And so you need to be doing them every day. When I was at NLC last month, this was this image on the right was something that was shared with us, and it's a great checklist. Are you sharing these aspects of your everyday life? These are the things that people need to see about your life. So making sure you'll see a lot of these things kind of go along with the Success Club tracker. So people want to see you talking to it. They don't want to just see pictures or boomerangs of this, this, and this. Like they want to see you speaking to them. They want to see your face. They want to hear your voice. There's something very personal about that, and it really kind of brings this level of connection. So I do want to quickly touch on what goes on your story versus what goes on your feed. So if you have workout clips and things like that, that stuff needs to go on your story. Think again, your Instagram feed, your timeline is like your storefront. You want it to be clean and cohesive and not super scattered and with all these different videos. You want it pleasing to the eye. So do the raw and the unfiltered stuff on the stories. When it comes to talking about, like pre-workout, stuff like that, it's all in my stories. Every once in a while, like I'll do a post about my pre-workout, but it's not in a Beachbody cup. It's in like a wine glass or a mason jar. And I never call it Energize. And so I'll talk more about that later. But this is a training, again, that was entirely on Instagram stories. Like I said before, I'm going to give you guys all these slides so that way you have access to all the links to all these trainings as well. Engagement is huge. So early engagement is best. And this is, again, there was another training on this that will be linked down below, but it is shown, or it is per Instagram's algorithm that changes every 5 minutes, but early engagement is the best. What that means is within the first 30 minutes of posting, when you get people commenting, liking, and engaging on your post, it's more likely to come up on the Explore tab. People see it more frequently on, like when you open up Instagram and you see like those first couple photos in your feed, those are there probably because they've been engaged on. When you pull up your Instagram and you're scrolling through your feed, say you're following 1,000 people, you're not going to see all 1,000 people just through scrolling for 5 minutes. Instagram is going to show you first the content that's more engaged on. So a few things when you post is, say I post on Instagram and Sammy, Sydney, and Zandra all comment on my post. It is important to like that comment and then respond to it with at least 3 words. That's what Instagram, the last I heard, it deems as like comments that are like LOL or yes or just emojis aren't considered like a legit response. They want 3 or more words. So responding, and that also shows like you're engaging with the people that are supporting you and engaging with you, like that reciprocal engagement. One big thing, and even just aside from engagement, responding to comments is important. If I ever post about OT, and sometimes my OT posts get a lot of comments, there's a lot of people saying that they can relate, I will respond to every single one of those comments. And people will say like, thank you so much for taking the time to responding to all of us. Like, that's a lot. But it really just shows like how loyal you are to the people who are supporting you just with, what you're posting. One thing that I always do is I share my post onto my story because, like I said, sometimes your content gets lost in the feed, but people are more likely to see all of your stories. And so I'll post it on my story and I'll put like a GIF or something, GIF, whatever it's called, in front of it. So it's not like a dead giveaway, or I'll use a GIF that's similar to the theme of whatever the post is. So that way people know that they can go look at your new post. And then especially for the post, if you do a vulnerable post, something that's a before and after, or something that just evokes like emotion, or is, like a pretty intense post, or not even intense, but you know what I mean, message the people who like and comment on your post. Just even if it's thank you so much for, messaging them and saying, hey, thanks so much for commenting or liking my post yesterday and my before and after. That really means a lot to me. It's not easy to share that type of transformation. It's very vulnerable, but your love and support, really makes it all worth it. So thank you. And that's all. You don't invite them to anything or anything like that. Like, you're just engaging with people. Something that you'll see in this training down here, talking about engagement pods. They're great. They're wonderful. I did them for a while. I've kind of swayed away from them just because I have kind of lost, that's one thing I had to delegate, but they're super awesome. It just shows your support with, you have a pod of people that all post at the same time. And as soon as they post, you go and comment on their post right away. So it was a great way for me to engage with people, other people on the team and stuff like that. And just really, like, when you see someone else on our team post on social media, go give their post some love. I like to share your guys' posts on my stories. Just, commenting and giving them all the love, because we deserve it. We're a team. We're there for each other. We're supposed to really just kind of love on each other. The next thing is hashtags. So this is one of the reasons why your profile needs to be public. If you have a private profile and use hashtags, it's pretty much worthless, because hashtags are used to reach your niche market and to reach more people. But if you have a private profile, if someone's searching a specific hashtag that you use, your profile is not going to show because it's private. So I have hashtag like groups. Now, in that Planoly app that I talked about before, there's a section where you can save groups of hashtags. And so I have like an OT one, I have a Jacksonville one, I have like a little combination one, and I'm still working on building some more. But do not use Beachbody hashtags, because if you do Beachbody, Lift 4, 21 Day Fix, Autumn Calabrese, Chickology, that kind of stuff, you're just going to attract Beachbody coaches. Like, just think of like, if you were, before you were a coach, were you just sitting and looking up Beachbody hashtags? Probably not. So really make sure, mine are OT school, OT student, Jacksonville Beach, 904 fitness, 904 is the area code here. Or I have some about wine. People can do like, mom life, whatever, like Minnesota girls. I've done like Florida fitness, all that kind of stuff. So you can get really creative. There's lots of apps and tools out there. You might want to write this down. I can pull it up. There's an app called Tag-O-Matic, and it's an app that helps you build like groups of hashtags based on like a common theme. So think local, niche market, and specific. You don't want to do super broad. So if it's too broad, it's just going to get lost. Again, there's a training on hashtags itself. So I know it's a lot of information, and these are some other topics that I did not touch because, again, we would be here forever. But there are 3 other trainings that we talked about: how to use Captivate and Cleaner, which is how I actually led that call. And I feel like I've learned more even since then. But it was how I organically grew my following and kind of narrowed in on my niche market. I would say 80% of my followers are OT students, people who are considering being an OT clinicians, anyone in like the rehab field. And that's because I used Captivate and Cleaner, and it's that follow unfollow method without digging too deep. But I basically went and I was following a ton of OTs and OT students and from these OT accounts. And when you follow someone, it's natural to follow them back. And that's how I really grew my following. And then we have the call on credibility, like how to present yourself. There was a guest speaker on that one, so that one's pretty special. And then curiosity marketing, kind of how I was talking about when I'm drinking my pre-workout. Most of the time it's in a wine glass or a mason jar. And I don't really show labels. Every once in a while, like I'll name drop Shakeology every once in a while because I really am not ashamed about it. But I'm not sitting here saying like, "Ooh, my Shakeology is the best. It's perfect." It's, "Oh, I haven't had my Shakeology yet today," or like, it just kind of is more natural. I'm not saying it to try and sell someone on it because that's not what we're here for. So those are the other topics on those different areas, and I think that is it. Yes, that is it. Does anyone have any questions for me? That was a lot of information.
I don't have any questions right now. Just need to do it.
Anyone?
So if it has their names on it, does that mean that they're not here, or are they here with all their, oh, there she is.
The video is just off.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Trying to think if there's any, one thing that I didn't really touch on, and I was talking to Sydney about this earlier, was captions. A lot of people are like, I don't know what the heck to do for captions. Like, what do I post about? Like I said before, with the Leah example, with the dog bed exploding, you'd be surprised what you can gather from your day to post about. One thing that I do, if you've ever read You Are a Badass, I got as a gift, it's like the daily calendar thing. I love reading it every day, but there are some that I really love that would make perfect Instagram captions. So I literally save these and I'm like, imperfect equals I'm perfect. You're human, you're gonna screw up. Other humans are gonna screw up. Let it go. Perfect Instagram caption. There you go. So something as simple as that. And that's another reason why I really like personal development. Reading a personal development book, I have many times as I'm reading, I'll just take my phone and snap a picture of that page. And if a certain quote stands out to me, that'll either inspire me to write a caption, or I'll just use quotes and quote that with a picture. So there's a lot of really creative ways. There are times there's this motivational Instagram account that I started following, and I screenshotted a few of theirs. And I literally am just like, oh, these would make great captions. Or these are great ideas. It's okay to do that. It really is. I was like, I'm totally going to recreate this. This is hilarious. I'm hilarious. I want to post about it. So like I've got my little felt board thing. Next Friday, my plan is to recreate this. So there's definitely lots of options out there with what to put for your captions with your bomb ass content.
Question.
Yes.
Sometimes you post like music or something in your story and you're like, I do not own the rights to this music. Do you do it like every time you post something?
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram. And that's just because they're so crazy about copywriting music nowadays that you have to state like, I don't own the rights to this music. So that way everyone knows like Courtney Lindblom did not create this Cardi B song.
So dumb. Okay. So like anytime you like, you know how like in Instagram you can like add the song or whatever?
In stories, that's fine. Stories, it's fine.
Because you're obviously putting the person.
Yeah, it's because you literally tag the artist in the...
So like if you're like dancing or something, you feel like, I don't write. Okay.
Yeah, and with your stories, have fun with it. Like it took me a while to get comfortable literally like twerking in front of my phone, but now I'm like... You know, like I was literally dancing in my kitchen earlier while I was making salads. But it's like real life, that's literally what I was doing. Like I wasn't just doing that for the camera. I was literally dancing in my kitchen. And I was like, this is awesome. You know, when we had team calls, I always put that on my story. So that when people see that inside look on what being on a team is like, what you know, you giving them the insight to all these different things. I share the wins from our challenge group, all that kind of stuff. So I try to really make it cohesive. It's not all just like coaching, workout. I try to limit it to 2 to 3 workout clips because no one wants to watch a 30-minute workout for 20 different stories. So if you don't know, with Instagram stories, there is the option, the hands-free option. If you tap and hold, is that me? If you tap and hold the hands-free option, it'll count down 3, 2, 1. So that's how I do a lot of my like workout videos. But yeah, those are my tips. That's how I've grown my biz on Instagram, and I love it. I love it. It takes some time to really kind of get comfortable with it. And I will say this, if you're waiting for this magical day to happen where you're instantly comfortable with social media, I hate to break it to you, but it's not going to happen. You have to put 2 feet in. You just got to freaking go in, because you're going to continue to freak yourself out. You're going to continue to stress about it, and you're going to get this negative association with it. And it's not a negative thing. It's not a bad thing. I will say I don't get too many like haters per se. At least no one that like comments really rude things. If they do, bye. Like I just block them. It's not often though, because I feel like most people have the decency to keep their shit to themselves. But you know, I know that some of the, like the larger accounts, like there's people who have nothing else better to do with their day than to troll and say mean things to people. But as far as, you know, I will say when I was in grad school, a lot of my classmates mocked me for what I was doing. They were like, ooh, Courtney's Core Fitness, blah, 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 because that's my Facebook name. And it hurt, like it stung. But I said to myself, like, just like, screw that, you know? And fast forward to now, and I'm like, look at me now, bitches. Like, I've got a solid side income that pays for a lot of my bills. And exactly. And it's kind of like, yeah, you judged me then. Some of them have been my customers. So funny how things come full circle, you know? So it's easy to be stressed about like what other people are going to think of me. But at the end of the day, if someone really is that part of a time with you empowering other women and bettering yourself and helping others do so in the process, and they are not the right people for your tribe. They are not the people you want to work with. They are not the people that you need around in your life every single day. And so I strongly feel that because I strongly had that for so many different areas of my life. So it, like I said, I'm going to say it again. If you are waiting for this magical morning, you're going to wake up and be like, I am so ready to post on social media. It's not going to happen. You're not going to wake up to that. So rip the freaking Band-Aid off, put the big girl panties on, and just go for it. So cheers to that. Yes, Trudy. That girl. Girl power. All right. Well, if no one has any questions. Oh, Sydney has a question?
Not about social media. Containers come with challenge packs?
So they just changed that. Literally just changed like 3 weeks ago with the Ultimate Portion Fix coming out.
Oh, yeah.
They changed it to where they don't.
Oh, okay.
I know. Now, here's my suggestion with that, because yeah, I'm not a fan of that. However, they're like $7 or $8. So you can, when you're sending out share carts, you can add them to the shopping cart. Okay. Sydney, if you need help with how to edit and modify that, I'll show you. Okay. Or in our virtual boot camp, I have uploaded in the file section like my recipes that I put together last weekend, and on that first page it has like the container breakdown. Purple and green are 1 cup, red is 3/4 cup, yellow is a 1/2 cup, so on and so forth. So it's doable without the colored containers. I know that it's like a visual thing and it's fun, they're containers, but it's doable without them.
Okay.
Cool.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for tuning in live. That means a lot. And it really kind of shows your commitment to the business and your commitment to wanting to learn more and grow. So I love you all so, so dearly. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday evening. And I will post the slides, link to the slides and the recording to this in the team page for everyone. Okay?
Want to show me how to add that? Can we share a screen after?
Yes, I'm going to end this because this is recording.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So that way I'll upload it and then I'll call you back.
Okay.
All right. Have a wonderful evening. Love you all. Oh, wait, I got to take a picture. Let me stop recording first.